How draining is that for you and your colleagues?
Emotionally, very draining, you know, when we have to deal with the families that are coming into us, but physically as well. You know, it's a very manual job, it's a very hands-on job. This sort of profession has been very taboo for many, many years, but I think that it's quite sad, but something like this has had to bring it to the forefront.
Of course, a lot of friends and family members aren't allowed to attend funerals at the moment, so many of them are looking for other ways to remember loved ones. Charlotte is helping the business provide people with other ways to grieve.
At the moment it's particularly crucial because a lot of people aren't attending a funeral and can't say goodbye to their loved ones. So we're finding that there's a real issue entering the grief process. So we have jewellery here, for example, that can house the ashes of your loved one. We also work closely with a company that turns ashes into diamonds. It is a real diamond. It's made from the carbon from ashes.
Hi Tracy, how are you?
Meanwhile, arrangements for another funeral are underway.
There is families that haven't seen their loved ones, they've been in care homes, they've been in hospitals, and you know, we're just doing our best and what we can to look after them.
Yeah, I think exactly that. I mean, it's just very sad that when you have to tell people that no, they can't actually have all the people they want to attend a service, and no, sorry, you can't actually carry your loved one in, strangers are carrying them.
It's 8:25. You are watching BBC Breakfast.
We know there's some pretty grim news around at the moment, but also before now and 9:15, we'll be catching up on Morning Live, which follows up at 9:15.
Oh yes, that's...
Also talking about your lockdown haircuts and some of the mistakes and tragic moments that you've had, and will continue to have over the coming weeks.
Should we look forward to those?
Yes, come on.
All right,
let's celebrate our rubbishness.
Let's get to news, travel and the weather wherever you are.
Good morning from BBC London and BBC South East today. Police are appealing for information after a teenage boy died after he was stabbed in North London. Officers were called to Holland Walk in Archway at about 5:30 yesterday evening. Despite efforts from paramedics and air ambulance staff to save him, he was pronounced dead at the scene. With hospitals in Kent under huge pressure at the moment, a local charity has opened its doors to end-of-life patients with COVID-19. Hospice in the Weald has made 14 beds available for those dying with the virus.
We want to be clear that we've got capacity, we've got beds, we've got staff, and we're allowing visitors to see those patients, and that we want to help our colleagues in the NHS.
Skin cancer rates have rocketed according to a new study by Brighton and Sussex Medical School. It's now the 5th most common cancer in the UK. Cases have risen by 250% in women in recent decades, but they've risen double that rate in men. The study analysed more than 265,000 patients. The pandemic is affecting every aspect of life and death. During the first lockdown, the BBC followed a South London funeral company as they tried to cope with the spike in people dying. 10 months later, they say they're now taking bookings for March, and the backlog is worse than ever.
Beforehand, we could possibly be collecting 4, but they would probably be from 4 different hospitals. And that would probably be it for the day, and then maybe a couple of coffin onlys later. But now it's as I said before, we collect 4, come back, reload, do another 4. It's that.
The photographer Rankin has put on an exhibition which celebrates former refugees who are now key workers during the pandemic. Entitled Leave Home, Save Lives, one of those featured is a man who settled in London after seeking asylum from Iran. He's now working as a COVID tester. Now time for a check on the weather.